Hello everyone, this is Santosh Chris, also known as Jack Bliss, and today I'll be talking about popular new, in fact it's I think the #1 Netflix show all around the world. It's called Squid Games, or is it Squid Game? Well, that's another whole nother topic because it seems this has actually been Mandela affected as well. So that just adds to the ever, increasing number of Mandela effects that are going on in our realm right now. So what I wanted to talk to you about this was, and this is just like candid opinions, it's not really scripted or anything. I did watch the series, and it's beautifully made, great acting. Don't get me wrong, it was really engaging, cinematography, everything just spot on. It's just, I felt it was just a bit desensitizing violence, and we've all watched a lot of those mafia flicks and those horror movies. There's all kinds of movies like that in the past, right? And they're usually more like cult classics, the extremely horror driven movies or shows or whatever. But it seems this one is really like going way mainstream. I mean, I even saw I think even children are like talking about it, which is kind of weird because this is a very, very disturbing show. In all honesty, I mean, so basically the premise is this guy, he's struggling, and he he's struggling in debt. He lost his job, and then he's working as a chauffeur or something, and then he has a bit of a gambling problem. He talks, his mother is helping him out, but then they're all just struggling, and he lost his daughter, and it's very touching. I mean, the beginning is really good. I mean, it shows like his issues with gambling, his problems that I guess he has a bit of a discipline issues as well. He's a bit like aggressive, but he's a good man. He has a good heart. He has a heart of gold. And of course, we are introduced to more characters, and there's a guy named Ali. I really liked Ali. He was he was such a nice guy. He was heart of gold. And so basically they go to this place. They're invited to this place where it's kind of like the Hunger Games, where it's every man and woman for themselves, and the winner takes all, basically. And it's got that concept. I found the Hunger Games did it a bit better though, because it was more like they were it was more forced upon the whole population, whereas Squid Game, it was like they were invited, and they even had a chance to leave. Of course, initially they didn't know that they would literally be shot to death if they lost any game, which was quite amazing, mind-blowing. And so the first, I'm sure all of you have seen the trailer of it, where the red light, green light game. And yes, oh my god, that was... so basically it's like adults playing children's games and getting into paying the ultimate price of dying if you don't win. And basically, I think there's 456 of them. And long story short, all of them die, pretty much. Spoiler alert. But I guess, of course, our main hero doesn't. And in the end, he meets the person that's actually behind it. And they say they did it all because they were bored. They had so much money, they've seen it all, and they were just bored. And wow. So it's a pretty bloody mess. And the elites did it just because they were bored, basically, of life. And I understand, if you've seen it all, if you have everything in the material realm, you're not very spiritual, you're not very good, you can get really weird. And that's why it's always keep your mind occupied with good intentions. It's very important. It's just not, don't be too materialistic, because ultimately I think this is where it heads. Not trying to say materialism is bad. It's always important to have important things. I have a mic, I have a headset, I have to pay my rent. There's all these things we need to take care of, but at the same time, it's not everything. And that's where I think Squid Game, one of the reasons it's so popular right now is because a lot of people are in debt. They're really, really afraid when their next paycheck is going to be, or something like that. And they're one survival of the fittest, and one of them wins all kinds of money, and the rest will just die, and it's because of their debt. And the most sad scene to me personally was like they're actually after the horrific opening, of course, where they're all basically machine gunned down with snipers or whatever if they don't pass through the thing, the red light, green light game, which is oh boy, that scene is very surreal. But basically, so coming back to what I was trying to say, it's very desensitizing to people, like saying, hey, if you're they're kind of desensitizing violence in such a broad way. I mean, it's like I think adult entertainment has gotten progressively more and more violent, more and more sexual, more and more. It's getting just normalized more and more and more from what I grew up with. And now we have Squid Game, which is just like people, if you're in debt, you got to go to this game, and this is your pretty much your only way out. It's life and death, and I don't think that is a good message at all whatsoever. If you are in debt, there's a lot of ways to get out of it. Maybe it depends on how much debt you have, right? Like, for instance, the main character had a lot of issues with gambling. Maybe if he gave up gambling, he could have, or pursued a better job. Maybe he didn't have to go through this. I mean, what's very very disturbing about it is only one person in the end wins. I can't really get behind that. If it were at least like 10 people who survived at the end and they got to split the money, 10 out of 450 is not bad. But I don't know. It's so, I don't know. Maybe I'm sorry. I'm losing track of this show. I'm just trying to remember it as much as I can. And of course, there's some really horrible stuff. Like there's organs being harvested in between the games. I couldn't digest some of it. I have to be honest. I just skipped through it, and I don't know. It really hit me the wrong way in some ways, but it's made so beautifully, and it's so emotional. It's so dramatic. It's got all those good things, but at the core of it, it's so bad. It's like I don't know, man. Anyway. Yeah, so the disturbing thing is that they are actually given a choice to leave the games, but they think that life is so hard, so bad outside. This reality is so cruel, so disturbing that they have a better odds of staying in this ridiculous game that will give them a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, but probably at the cost of your life. And basically, the message of this movie or show, series, whatever it is money is everything. Who cares about your life? Even though banks can be in millions, billions of dollars in debt and then have it erased like that without much effort, and just lose people's money all the time. But your debt, your credit card debt or whatever, your overpriced house debt, whatever it is. Oh, this has to be life or death. Oh, you better play this game, even though if you die, all that debt pretty much gets transferred to your family, and you lose your life. So, what? And it's this back to the topic of desensitizing people. This to me is what desensitizing people is all about. Like, just make it as bloody as possible. So from the first scene onwards, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. But then there's this magical element to this childhood. These cute little games. But these weird things come in, like, the triangle, ones with the triangle, the ones with the circle, the ones with the square, and then of course the guy with the big mask, which I like the design. It's very, very well designed. Beautiful. I just wish it was a little bit more like the Hunger Games, where, I mean, people are not really, people go against their will, I think, in the Hunger Games more, and it's all like completely dystopian society, so government is controlling everything. That makes to me makes a bit more sense, and I like the Hunger Games. It was good. Of course, I don't know. I don't know if Squid Game is a good show or not. I really don't. I wish it was. I wish it was something with a bit more hope. More characters survived at least. Maybe 10, 15 of them survived. And they brought down the whole thing. Oh, there's another story where the police is there's a police one guy who goes against everybody in that raid. It's a secret raid, whatever, and then he finds out, what's his brother is also part of it. Again, spoiler alert, but it's kind of hopeless, and I don't think that's the right message for people right now. And I know it's super popular. If this was like a cult classic, I would say, hey, that's awesome. This is a great show. But it's going on, I think, to become the greatest show ever produced by Netflix. Come on. No, I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way. And everybody's just going on and on and on about it. And it's so great. I don't think it's that great. It's not a great message. If you're in debt, don't give up your life for that, because it's not worth it. And of course, we're all, a lot of us are here in this channel are Mandela affected, and we've had interviews of that. And when you're Mandela affected, you really know that the material world is not what it seems. It's not all real. It's not solid reality. It's just a realm. So don't get too caught up in it to the point where obviously I hope there's nothing like Squid Game going on in real life. Although, you never know in the dark web and stuff. Who knows what the heck is going on? But in reality, let's just take care of what we can, live within our means. And I just wish they showed a little bit of that as well. It's like there are. Oh, by the way, like if the participants, like, there are some criminals there, so obviously their mindset is totally different. So if they actually got a whole bunch of criminals to be part of this game, the Squid Game, and then they were killing off each other, that's kind of what they do outside in the reality. So it kind of makes more sense. But to get like really innocent people like Ali, like, come on, that guy was so sweet and innocent. He was so helpful, and that's actually one of my favorite scenes is when Ali actually rescues the main character with his hand. That was very touching. And Ali, come on, man, you didn't have to do that. You could have gotten through this, but it is what it is. I hope, especially now, don't get disheartened by these kind of shows. And don't just swallow everything just because it's entertainment. Oh, it's just entertainment. No, they tend to bring you down with this kind of entertainment. Oh, it's just entertainment, so we can sort of get away with almost anything. I think adults, just because you're an adult doesn't mean you can just keep watching this horrible imagery. Like some of the stuff, man, organ harvesting, really? You want to go there? It's not enough that the premise is very disturbing, that people get blown off by machine guns or whatever for not completing a childish game. You have to go there. Oh my god, the things they get away with just in the name of entertainment. Yeah. Imagine if it was a documentary. God, real life or something. It's horrible. Anyway, that's my candid opinion on it. It's unfortunate that when I was growing up, these were not really the kind of shows that were that mainstream. I'm sure there were some shows like this or movies like this, but it was always culty. So yeah, you do that thing over there. But now it's like in your face everywhere, this stuff. And that to me is very disturbing. To be honest, I'm not sure where entertainment's going. Maybe it's just everybody's so numb, they need to have this kind of entertainment just to feel something, which is not very good. And I don't know. Anyway, that's my candid opinions on the new show series Squid Game. I do hope you subscribe to this channel for more. We are planning to, my producer and I are planning to do more, perhaps movie reviews. And of course, if you want to be on the show, if you want to talk about your own passions in life, or the Mandela Effect or spirituality, just drop a comment. And of course, if there's any filmmakers who who think that we should make better content, the mainstream content. Share your ideas, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, this is Santosh Chris, aka Jack Bliss. Of course, some people call me Sunny. Signing off for the Toronto Business Journal. Thank you.